Today I'm talking about the new album by Alestorm called The Thunderfist Chronicles. And I want to ask the question, are they worth your time or just a gimmick? This is their 8th studio album, officially released on June 20th, 2025 through Napalm Records. The album was produced by Longtime, who is a longtime collaborator with Alestorm and has worked with other heavy metal and power metal bands. The album continues their pirate metal style, which is a mix of heavy metal and power metal with elements of folk metal. The lyrics are basically very tongue-in-cheek. It's more of a comedy metal band. The album has 8 songs, with the last song being 17 minutes long. I'll talk more about that in detail later. There's a cover song from a melodic death metal band called Nekrogoblikon, which I'll explain in detail again later on. I haven't been listening to this band for a long time. I think I discovered them with their last album, which was called Seventh Rum of a Seventh Rum. And I remember I did a review of that, so I will link that to the end screen. But I'll give you a really quick history. They formed in Scotland in 2004. The original band had a different name called Battle Heart, and they signed with Napalm Records in 2007, which is when they changed their name to Alestorm. They've been releasing albums fairly consistently. They usually release an album about every 2 or 3 years. Now let me talk about the new album, The Thunderfist Chronicles. Basically, this album isn't really doing anything they haven't done before. The lyrics are about sailing and voyages and pirate battles and treasure hunting and all that type of stuff. The songs are presented in a humorous manner, and there's even one song which is a sequel to a previous song called Frozen Piss. They also talk a lot about drinking and partying, but I'm sure that's something to be expected. Let me talk about the album. There are 8 songs. Most songs are about 3 to 5 minutes long, with the exception of the last one. The opening track is called Hyperion Omni Riff. The song starts with some heavy riffs and this medieval sounding guitar melody. The lyrics sound like a pirate singing, and it's funny, you can hear the Scottish accent. Then when the chorus kicks in, they sing in a more melodic fashion. A lot of the music sounds like power metal with very fast drum beats, as well as keyboards in the background. But I will admit, it's a catchy song. Once you listen to it, the chorus sticks in your head. Then in the middle of the song, they play a pretty cool heavy metal style riff. So I like hearing that. They're willing to add in different stuff. And when they get to the guitar solo, it sounds very melodic. But then afterwards, the vocals get a little harsher, almost moving into death metal territory. So that's another pretty cool thing. I like the fact they're not afraid to go in these different directions, but they do it in a more subtle manner, so it doesn't really stray from their core sound. Then towards the end of the song, you hear some neoclassical influence, so that is another plus.
Some men are killed by gunfire, some men are killed by sword.
Next is Killed to Death by Piracy, and it was released as a single. The intro kind of surprised me a little. It was a little heavier. It sounded like a Motorhead type of intro riff. I don't know if they're trying to do a parody of Killed by Death. I just thought of that later on, but they continued with fast drum beats, more of that pirate music with the medieval melodies. The lyrics are pretty ridiculous. They're talking about how men are killed in different ways, everything from guns to swords to zombies to robots. You could tell they're just having fun with this. I like the song. They're also doing some different stuff. They play thrash metal style guitar riffs in the song. It's another fun one. They're also adding some violins towards the end. So this band likes to pack a lot into their songs. The next song is called Banana. It's kind of different. It starts with this folk melody. The music video is pretty cool. It starts off like this first-person shooter video game, and it's all computer generated. Then it shows this dancing banana, and they play these heavy thrash metal style guitar riffs. But they also have these computer noises. Then in the middle of the song, it starts to sound more like power metal with keyboards and stuff like that. The music video is actually a lyric video, but I thought the intro was pretty cool. It's a catchy song. It's one of those songs that sticks in your head because the chorus is very catchy. It's different. They're mixing in a lot of electronic elements and computer noises. It sounds like things you wouldn't normally hear with pirate metal. Then towards the end, they play more of that folk melody, so it's a fun song. Then there is Frozen Piss 2. This was also released as a single. Kind of a strange song because the melody almost sounds like a video game melody, but the lyrics and vocals are more of those typical pirate music vocals, and they still have those very fast-paced power metal style drums with keyboards in the background. Then there's a part where they start playing this accordion, and it goes into a part where they add in some harsher vocals that almost sound like death metal screams. So it's just like the other songs, they're adding in all these different things, but they do it in a way to make it flow seamlessly. Then towards the end of the song, they bring in this female singer, and she sings in this folk music fashion, and you could tell she has this Scottish accent. Then the end of the song, it sounds like a video game again. It's almost like The Legend of Zelda or something like that. Next is The Storm. This was also released as a single. This one starts out as if it's going to be a ballad, as it has this melodic intro, but they pick up the pace a little bit. The song's a hard rocker. It's also pretty melodic. The song is filled with fast drums, distorted guitars, and bright keyboards. It's another one of those songs that tells a pirate story. I thought it was a decent track. It was kind of catchy. I also liked the guitar solo, as it was pretty melodic. It's one of those songs that goes back and forth between a heavy and lighter section.
The ocean waves will lead us to unholy grail, 'cause there's a place that
This is a shorter song called Mountains of the Deep. The song is under 3 minutes long. It's more of a folk song. It has more acoustic guitars. Type of song that just evokes images of pirates drinking ale in some tavern or something along those lines. It's one of those more fun and entertaining songs, and I know this band likes to do this. It also has a very melodic guitar solo, so it's a pretty decent song. Next one is called Goblins Ahoy. This is a cover of a Nekrogoblikon song. I'll be honest with you, I'm not very familiar with the band Nekrogoblikon. I remember listening to their previous album that came out maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but basically it sounds like anything you would hear anyway from Alestorm. It's another one of those pirate-themed folk songs. It's about goblins and pirates for some reason. It's more of the same. It has lots of those melodic guitars and medieval-sounding melodies. It's pretty cool to add in some harsh vocals, and also has kind of a progressive rock type of format, which is pretty cool. Overall, it's probably the cheesiest song in the album, if that's even possible. Finally, we get to the last song, the 17-minute epic called Mega Supreme Treasure of the Eternal Thunderfist. The song starts with some vocals that sound like a typical vocal intro to a fantasy-oriented power metal song. I guess that's how I would describe it. They play some soft melodies that are slightly reminiscent of something you might hear on a typical Iron Maiden album that's very laid back and relaxing. It gets a little weird afterwards. They play those pirate-sounding accordions, but they mix it with these harsh vocals that almost go into black metal territory. Seems like they're mixing extreme genres, but somehow they're making it work. Then in the next part of the song, they play a melody that sounds like it's from a video game, although I can't really place it. They seem to be mixing a lot of different genres here. It's not just typical pirate music. They're going in different directions, but somehow they're making it sound cohesive. For example, at the 6-minute part, they basically go full death metal with these tremolo-picked guitar riffs and blast beats, but they keep doing that melody while doing this, so I can respect that aspect of it. Then there's another part where they go into this full guitar shredding guitar solo, which kind of sounds a little neoclassical as well. I also read some comments from people saying that a lot of the melodies in the song are recycled from other songs, but that's what to be expected because it is pirate music and it's piracy. I'm trying to tell a joke, by the way. But anyway, after 9 minutes, they bring a female singer and she sings one verse. They go into this isolated bass guitar, moving into a next section, which kind of sounds like progressive rock again. But then the song continues with more of those pirate melodies, and it appears there are some different people coming into the song to deliver some vocals. As we get towards the end of the song, they're bringing more of that extreme metal with the black metal sounding vocals, as well as some of those tremolo picked guitar riffs. But then they go back to their pirate music style again. They continue the style as they bring the song to a close with a mix of different vocal styles. The song ends with the sound of the ocean. In conclusion, probably a little better than I expected it to be. I think I might be able to get into it with a few more listens. It was kind of fun. I like the fact that they have a lot of variety on the album. It's not just pirate music. They mix in a lot of different styles. I like that aspect of it. For now, it's a 7 out of 10. I wasn't blown away. I think it might be a grower because the songs are pretty catchy. So that's all I'm going to say for now. If you want to hear my thoughts on the previous album, I will stick that right there. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Please give this video a like. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe if you have not already. I do rock and metal reviews. I do classic album reviews. I occasionally do rankings. So check that all out, and I will see you in the next one.